I am live on the YouTube channel. Um, I'm going to be doing the radio show also for anyone that's tuning into this. So I do have to mix in this microphone and I have to try to get the volume right. So we'll go from there, and hopefully this is actually going to be playing over YouTube and the radio show at the same time. The radio show is actually going to be getting the links put up as I talk to you guys now, but today we're going to be going over the Cleveland Browns and the Los Angeles Chargers, and we're going to do a preview of that game and where my thoughts are going to be. So just be why I set this up, and I'm going to be looking to put the links up for the radio show right now. Someone asked me on my reaction video who I think is going to win. Excuse me. Who I think is going to win, I'll let you guys know before I get on the radio show. I'm going to be talking about it again. I think Cleveland's going to win. It's going to be something like 21-17. I believe that the Cleveland Browns are starting to come in their own defensively. And now we're going to start seeing the puzzle come together offensively. It's not going to be a complete puzzle like we've seen a transformation of the defense this last week. It was a big transformation. What we've seen, we're not going to see that drastic turn of events on the offense. We're seeing the yards, but I'll get into that more in the preview. And hopefully that will be something that we can look forward to. Now I'm going to go real quick. I know that it's going to be a little bit slow this time. Next time it's going to be a little bit faster for the YouTube live watchers. I am just going to put stuff up on my personal page and not Total Radio at this very moment. Hopefully it works out. I do have a total mixing board now, so it is all electronic. Or should I say digital? I'm sorry, not electronic. It's all digital at this moment. I have only the headset that you've seen. It's a gaming headset, and it's going to have to work. So we are going to make this go live on the radio, and you guys will not hear a lot of the sound effects and stuff that the radio does. So if you guys do want to check that out, I will put the links in the description later for the radio show, but this is the start of the radio show. I got so many buttons to hit. Okay. And welcome to Total Radio's Uncaged Dog. What we're doing today is we're going to be doing a preview of the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Cleveland Browns. We will be at First Energy Stadium, and we're hoping for the same reaction we got last week. So let's go ahead and dive into the show. Today, we're going to be trying something new. We're going to be doing something on YouTube at the same time. I got to work out the details, but we do have our radio station up and going. It's going to be this radio station is going to be called Total Radio. We're going to be having some NFL shows on here. Of course, the Cleveland Browns, a preview show and reaction videos are going to be also put on the radio, our radio station. We're going to upload them also as podcasts, so you can listen to them over and over, and my words can't be vanished. So when I make a call and I'm wrong, I'll admit that I'm wrong. When I make a call and I'm right, of course I'm going to say that I'm right. Um, but I want to welcome you guys to a new venture of mine, Total Radio. If you guys are interested, if anyone's listening to this and wants to do a podcast themselves and send it in, I can upload it to the radio station. We can talk about a time slot or something like that for you. Or if you want to do a live, we can set that up where you can do live. I'm working out the bugs in the server right now. I'm trying to find out what mics work, what mixing boards work. If you are on my YouTube channel watching me, I do have mixing boards and stuff here, and I'm trying to order in some nicer microphones instead of using the headsets that I'm using now. I do got to figure out the different type of microphones that will work best in this situation, because I do want to leave and go out to a game and maybe do a radio show there before the game, maybe in a tailgate or something like that. So we got lots of stuff to look forward to on the Uncaged Dog. Now I do know the people watching the YouTube channel is going to say, hey, it's the Barking Dog. Well, I come from some forums, and there's someone that already has the name the Barking Dog, and I didn't think of that when I created the YouTube. I just wanted to create a YouTube channel and do some reaction videos to the Cleveland Browns. I went over it, and I seen that when I was going over the forum that someone was called the Barking Dog, and I didn't want to take that name. So I went out and bought the uncageddog.com. And I'm going to start building that website now. The radio show and the radio station is kind of getting launched before the websites. And on the websites, once these are done in the next 7 to 10 days, you will be able to go to them websites and listen to these older shows and these podcasts and listen to all the live shows coming up. On Total Radio, just to give it a little promotion, we're going to have everything from regular talk shows with current events. I got some pet and reptile shows coming up on there. I got an NBA show someone's going to host on there, an NFL show, a total NFL, even though we're going to hit it on the Uncaged Dog. And of course, the Uncaged Dog has 2 to 3 shows a week. The schedule is going to be there. Of course, we're going to keep doing these reaction videos that you see on the YouTube, but it's going to be, worldwide on the Total Radio Network. So let's go ahead and dive into what we got going on. The Cleveland Browns are 2-1. Who would have thought that at the beginning of the season? Because everyone said the beginning of our schedule was brutal. And we come out at 2-1, and this team is very, very, very easily could be 4-1 or 5-0. I've been reading a lot on Twitter lately. I've been really active on Twitter, and I'm going to make an Uncaged Dog Twitter account so people can tweet to me and talk to me during the show. And I'm going to make an email. I'm going to make a Facebook page so people can actually interact with me until I get the phone lines up, so you can actually call into the radio show and voice your opinion on anything I say or anything you want to say. But I've been reading a lot on Twitter, and they say if Baker Mayfield was starting at the beginning of the year that we would be 5-0. I don't believe that, because Tyrod Taylor wasn't the reason we lost. Did he help us to win? No. But I don't believe we could be 5-0. We don't know how the team would have reacted at that moment. I honestly feel that he came in at the best moment possible for this team. In that Jets game, he came in and he took over that game. He took the reins from a down team, a team that was down and out, and he brought them back and showed his leadership. And I think he earned the respect even more of his players coming in on that Jets game. And I just feel that if he came in that Steelers game, anything went wrong, it would go downhill a little bit. If it did take off and win that Steelers game, awesome. But I just have a feeling that the way it happened, when he came in, not Tyrod getting hurt. Tyrod shouldn't have got, or Tyrod, I'm sorry, I'm going to say Tyrod over and over. I'm going to get into that. But Tyrod got hurt, and we didn't want to see that. But when Baker Mayfield came in, it was probably the best moment for him to come into a game and take the reins of this team. And I think the situation could not have got more perfect other than Tyrod not getting injured. So I don't believe that we would be 5-0 with just Baker Mayfield. I believe we would be 5-0 with a few things not happening. Our kicking being better, and I believe that the penalties, the stupid penalties that's going against us, um, and stuff like that. Of course, if Tyrod played better than he did, he would even admit that this team would be a better team. But if he played better and won them first 2 to 3 games, we wouldn't have seen Baker Mayfield anyway, unless he got injured. But if he won them first 2 games and Tyrod Taylor played, let's say, average to above average, and he won them games, and then he got the concussion in the Jets, and let's say the score was 7-7 or 0-0 or something like that, that was manageable, and Baker Mayfield came in and won the game, we would have turned the reins back over to Tyrod as soon as he was healthy, because he was a winning quarterback. So I know it's sad to say this, but I think it was better that Tyrod lost and he tied that game, because and his play was poor, and he's going to be the first to say that his play was poor. I think that plays more into it than Baker Mayfield's play, because Baker Mayfield's playing amazing. His numbers are not great, but his elusiveness and his leadership is amazing. But if you ask anyone on a team, Tyrod Taylor's leadership is amazing also. So I think it had to do just as much of, Tyrod's play on the field that kept Baker Mayfield on the field. So going from there, I do like the tweets about Baker Mayfield. I am a Baker Mayfield nut. I think he is our future. I think he is the heart and soul of that offense at this moment. So going from there, I think we know Baker Mayfield's our quarterback. He's our quarterback. But to say that just changing him, we would have been 5-0. I think a lot more goes into it, and we should just enjoy the 2-2-1, and us going to 3-2-1 after we beat the Chargers. And I truly do believe that. Before the radio show launched, I did launch my YouTube a little bit sooner, and I told people that I was looking at a 21-17-ish type win from us, with Baker Mayfield taking control of this game. And we're going to get into why I believe Baker Mayfield is going to take control of this game. There's some stats that I want to talk about, though, and some stories that came out. Before we get into some other stuff, I want to talk about Drew Brees breaking the record. I wanted to do this show yesterday, and I had a big thing signed up, and we had technical difficulties, and I couldn't do the radio show, but I was going to do a live YouTube, and the YouTube live wasn't working, so I was kind of, behind the 8 ball on that. But I wanted to talk about Drew Brees. I honestly think Drew Brees is very, very underrated. The man throws up 5,000 yards like other quarterbacks throw up 3. And, I mean, just congrats. It couldn't happen to a better quarterback. He's very humble. He loves the game of football. You never hear anything bad about Drew Brees. So congrats to Drew Brees. He's well deserving of it. And the scary thought is, guys, he's not done. When he's done, that record could be in the 80,000 mark. That's scary. 80,000 yards from a quarterback. That's a lot of yards to be thrown in a career. So I just wanted to give that a huge, huge shout out to Drew Brees. Just congratulations. I mean, you earned every yard of that. Now I want to talk about the Snoop Dogg thing. I seen Snoop Dogg was at our field, at our practices, and talking about it. And what was it, a couple of years ago, he was a Steelers fan. You could say with the Steelers. That's my opinion. It's cool that I guess he's there, but I don't like this flip-flopping. Once you're a Steelers fan, you come over to the Browns. Guess what? We were here when we were losing. Now you're here when we start winning. You can jump on back to the Steelers. And guess what, guys? I'm a Snoop Dogg fan, but I don't deal with that bandwagon crap, So we'll get past that. I had a lot of people messaging me on Facebook about that, what I thought about that, because I do get into the music industry a little bit, and I talk to a lot of these review people, and I talk to upcoming artists and people that are in the rap, like Tom McDonald. Tom McDonald is someone, if you guys want to check him out, he's an amazing artist. But someone asked me about Snoop Dogg liking the Browns, and I said, well, he was a Steeler fan a few years back. So it is what it is. But another thing I want to talk about, let's get off that and let's go to Ward. Ward won Special Team Player of the Week. It's amazing. I think Ward is coming into his own. The only reason he didn't win Defensive Player of the Week is because of Watt amazing. He's a sack machine, like his brother. But Ward is special, and I believe he's already becoming a shutdown corner. I was challenged on this on Twitter. I said he was a shutdown corner. Someone said there's no way he's a shutdown corner, and they gave me all these other cornerbacks that are shutdown corners. Let me get you the stats, okay? He's 5 games into a rookie season, and he's already leading the league in pass deflections or pass defenses. Okay. He's tied for the lead, and there's a few of them with 3 interceptions. He's already becoming a force on special teams. This man is not just a one-dimension player. He's becoming a ball hawk and a defensive. He'll knock it down. Whatever it takes for him not to allow another player to catch the ball. He's making that decision. He's seeing the quarterback's eyes. He's breaking on the ball. Guys, I'm telling you, Ward is going to be very special. And we're already seeing it. It's week 5. He's already got 2 awards. I don't see him slowing down. Him and Randall are going to be special, guys. I like Ward. I think him and Garrett on this team for a long time is going to be talked about. They're not even in their prime yet. They're still learning the NFL game. So a big congrats to Ward, winning Special Team Player of the Week. That was an amazing block. I mean, it was an amazing block. I could not believe when he got in there. I just couldn't believe it. We don't, Browns fans know what I'm talking about. We don't see that often. So now I want to be talking about just a little bit that the Browns are getting what they deserve in the media. Some people are saying that we're bandwagon fans, and they don't understand us fans that's been here for, our whole lives. They're saying, I mean, I've been seeing that people I know has been Browns fans since I've known them for 10, 15 years. And on Twitter or the forums are like, oh, yeah, now you're a bandwagon fan. Now you admit you're a Browns fan. Guys, that's not true about Browns fans. We were at that game when they went 0-16. We were there when they were 1-15. We were there when they were 10-6 and they didn't make the playoffs. We were there when they were 9-7 and made the playoffs, and we had a heartbreaker and we lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers for the 3rd time that year. And we watched our Holcomb throw for, what was it, 500 yards that game. I mean, it's insane. We were there through it all. We were there. We were the fans that had their team ripped away, and we didn't get them back until 1999. So saying that we're bandwagon fans, guys, I don't think there's any other NFL team that's done this to their fan base. But the fan base is sitting there now strong, cheering as loud as they can because they got a 2-2-1 team. So the Browns are starting to get their due. The media is starting to recognize that they have something special. And I think that these people hating that the Browns are getting their due need to walk away. Just like the Ravens saying that they don't think Baker Mayfield's all that, but Baker Mayfield beat them and threw for over 300 yards. So when you get beat, man up, say you got beat. All right. I mean, shoot. So we want to get into the game. I want to get into the game that's coming up, and I want to tell you why I think the Browns are going to win 21-17 or 21-14. And I want to say it's going to be a 2-part battle. I said last week that I thought it was going to be a little higher scoring, but I thought the defense was going to do it and our running game was going to do it. I was right on part of it. Our running game was very weak last week, but our defense stepped up. Our defense stepped up very well. The defense came into their own. They're making an identity for everyone to see. They are a strong defensive front, and they're becoming a very, very, very nice secondary. Even with the injuries to Mitchell, Gaines stepped up. He did very well. We didn't hear his name called in a bad way, so that's a good thing. When you're not hearing a cornerback's name called or that receiver called that he's guarding all the time, that alone should show you that they're winning. But just to get into some stats for you guys, the Cleveland Browns defense, when I checked, it was ranked 15th overall. So they went from 19th to 15th. And now the Los Angeles Chargers is ranked 6th. that has to do with, I think they have a balanced defense or a balanced offense. I'm sorry, a balanced offense. Um, their passing game is 13th, while their rushing game is 11th. Gordon is not a nobody. No one's talking about Gordon. No one's saying a word about Gordon. That running back can come out of the backfield, and that's where we really lack in defense is guarding that running back when he catches the ball. We're struggling at that. Connor got us. We got beat by, I can't think of the Saints. Oh my, I can't think of the Saints running back, but we've been allowing the running back to catch the ball and get that 5 to 10 to 15 yards. And it's really hurting this defense. I think that's our weakness. I'm not sure if it's because that we're missing our safeties not coming up and covering them, or our linebackers not covering them correctly, or they're missing assignments. A lot of times that running back is wide open. So that's one thing I'm worried about here, because Gordon is not a pushover at all. He catches the ball. He runs the ball. Gordon's stats, I believe he's up near 5 yards a carry. And I'm really worried about that because we struggle against the run. We do. We are one of the worst teams against the run. And I feel that we can be stronger. Our front four, our defensive line is better than they, let on. And they showed that last week a little bit, but their yards per average, the Ravens still rushed pretty decent against us yards per average. So I would like to see us improve there, because our defense is only ranked 28th. Now, I do say that we do have 3 overtime games. 3 overtime games is huge there. It does add a lot of yards to that. And I want to point out that we're number 1 in takeaways. That's huge in takeaways. I mean, we're number 1. We went from worst to first in something, and that is a huge category to be coming in to. I wrote this down. We're first in takeaways with 15. We're first in turnover ratio at +8. We're first in rushing yards with 723 yards. We're first in fumble recoveries, which is 7. We're first in rushes over 10 yards at 23, and we're first at rushes over 20 yards with 6. Now, I want to talk about that a little bit. The rushes over 10 yards and 20 yards with that many, we're not running the ball any other time. Because our running backs are averaging 3 yards, 3.6 yards a carry. We need to get that in the 4.5 area, 4.5 to 4.6 area, to make it easier on Baker Mayfield. When a running back's averaging in the low 3s or the mid 3s, defenses don't have to worry so much about them. Yes, they're going to break off that 1, 2, 20-yard run, but the rest of the time they're not going to be doing anything. They don't have to stack the box. Baker Mayfield's going to be a quarterback that if you stack the box, he's going to kill you. His release is just too fast. You're not going to be able to recover, saying if you stack that box and you see it's not a run, you can't recover before that ball's out. That's a problem if we can get, Chubbs or even Hyde averaging in the 4s. And I'm not seeing that out of Hyde. I'm just not. I wish I was, but I'm not. The other stat I want to say that we have to improve against the Chargers, or we do not have a chance, and I think this is the biggest thing that we got to improve, is our drops. We are leading the league in drop percentages, 7.6%. That is insane when you bring in Landry and he's supposed to have hands. He's made some big drops. I think losing Higgins is going to hurt us a little bit, but I don't know why we're not using Johnson. I don't know why we don't move Johnson to the slot, use Chubb as a third down back, or just rotate Chubb and Hyde and see who gets the hot hand. I'm not totally sure. I don't know why we're not using Johnson more. He said he wants to be a slot receiver. He has pretty decent hands, but we're not using him. If the drops happen, I don't think we're going to recover against LA. LA's defense is pretty decent. Their defense ranks in the middle of the pack, around 17th. I think they are 17th. But we got to get to the point that we are averaging more yards per run and we're not dropping the ball. They're drive killers, both of them. When we run the ball on first down, we shouldn't be getting 2nd and 8. We should be getting 2nd and 5. Second and 6 at most. So we're setting up, but when we're 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8, it kind of eliminates the playbook on us. And then when that second down throw comes, we're going to have a third down because of a drop. So now we're looking at 3rd and long instead of a third, like I said, third and 4 or third and 5. So that rushing needs to step up, and the drops need to stop. I can't believe the drops that we're seeing. I cannot believe it. I do want to talk about and go over to points. Points last week kind of hurt us. We're still 20th in the league, but the points that they're 27.4 points a game. That's pretty decent. They're ranked 8th. But here's another thing that I'm not liking, and I think the rushing is bringing this down a lot. Yards per play is 5.1, but the Browns have 369 plays. They're second in lead with 369 plays, but they're only averaging 5.1 yards a play. If they're second in the league in plays, they should be one of the top offenses, and we're only ranked 15th right now. We're number 1 in rush, 22nd in pass. When we look at a team like Los Angeles, their offensive rank is 6th. They only have 307 plays, but they're averaging 6.6 yards per play. So that 1 yard, 1.5 yards is a huge difference and a huge thing when it comes to by the end of the game. You're going to be wearing down that defense. When you're not averaging in the 6s, it's going to struggle. That's going to make your offense worse. And when you're averaging probably 10 more plays than your opponent every game, you should be winning that battle. Anyways, I want to talk about the defense, though, and what I think that the key to the defense stopping the Los Angeles Chargers, and I'm thinking that that's going to be our defensive line, bottom line. I don't think our secondary is going to be as important as our defensive line today. We're going to have to, or not today, but Sunday. We're going to have to go ahead and get to Phillip Rivers. If we disrupt him, don't know what that beep was. Okay, my watch is beeping. I had to, sorry about that. My watch is beeping. I didn't know what it was. And now I'm losing my headset. But anyways, go back. I think our defensive line is going to be the big ticket here. I think Myles Garrett's going to be a big ticket. Myles Garrett is a machine. Everyone knows I rave about Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is the fastest defensive end there is. Everyone's going to say, oh, this person, that person. Myles Garrett already has the fastest sack this season at 1 point something seconds. I think it's like 1.6 seconds. He got to the quarterback. That's insane speed. I know it's under 2 seconds. It might be 1.96 seconds or something like that. That's insane speed, guys. For Garrett, he has speed and power. It's 1.97 seconds. I had it written down here. Damian Wilson on Dallas has the second fastest sack at 2.04 seconds. But the thing there is Garrett's side breaks down faster than the left side of the line. And people know that, so they put the double team on him. Almost, if you watch, I would say 60% of the time, they got 2 people blocking him. If he gets to the quarterback, if he gets to Phillip Rivers, I think it takes Gordon out of the game. I think it takes Gordon out of the game more than anyone. They're going to have to leave that extra blocker back there. And that's huge in the passing game because Gordon's a big part of Los Angeles passing game. Los Angeles looks at Gordon. Phillip Rivers, it's his safety blanket. And if he has to stay back there to block Myles Garrett and give Phillip Rivers at 1.5 more seconds to get the ball out, that's going to be a huge win to us. I know that some people are going to think that bringing a linebacker or bringing a corner into Gordon, I think Myles Garrett dominating that right side of that line is going to make them force them to either take Gordon out and bring in an extra blocker or make Gordon stay back there just to chip at him a little bit. I think our defensive line is the key to this game. I think that if we stop the run and we get to the cornerback without blitzing every time, even though we do a wonderful job blitzing, if our 4 can get to the quarterback and make a disruption, I think we're going to dominate this game. I think that Phillip Rivers does not like pressure. I know some people think that he is, but if you actually look at him under pressure, he's a little bit worse, like most quarterbacks, but he's worse at making decisions, and we got to make him make bad decisions because he is a smart quarterback. So Myles Garrett is a huge ticket here, but I'm going to go back on offense a little bit, and I want to talk about Nick Chubb. The man is fast. I didn't even know how fast he was, and I am a Chubb's fan. He is. I think he should be starting over Hyde. Bottom line, I have no clue why he's not starting. I still don't know. I know he got 3 carries for 2 yards last game, but three carries ain't anything. But on his 63-yard run 2 weeks ago, well, last week, or 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry, 21.15 miles an hour. You want to know how fast that is? Do you know when everyone was ranting and raving about Callaway's 21.48 miles per hour? This guy almost hit the same speed. So I think Chubbs is the best mix of everything, and I haven't really seen him catch the ball. I would rather just take Hyde out, put Chubb in there, and say, "Hey, let's go. Let's see what you got." I don't know if we're going to do that. I don't think that he will, but Hugh Jackson will. But Chubb is just he's got something special. He's got better vision. I honestly do. And this offensive line really has to start blocking better for the running backs anyway. It's a must. It's a must. If they don't start blocking for these running backs a little bit better, I believe I forget who tweeted it, but tweeted a play from the Cleveland Browns that gained, I want to say 6 to 8 yards, but there was 9 people on the offensive line against the offensive line with Landry going off on the right side. And I believe it was Hyde busted through the middle, and it looked like a broken play, but he still got, I think it was 6 yards. We shouldn't have to have everyone on the offensive line blocking the offensive line to get 6 yards. We should be able to depend on our 5 guys and maybe a tight end. We should be able to take a side like we did back in the day with the left side and just run behind them all day. We got to get our running game in. And I know what you guys are saying is we're a leading rushing team. We're a leading rushing team. Yeah, that's because of our quarterback, of Tyrod Taylor, when he was rushing, and Nick Chubb's big runs. Think about it, guys. We got them big runs, but then when we don't have them big runs, we're getting 2, 3, 3.5 yards. 2, 3, 3.5 yards. I know we're leading in yards, but our leading running back is not even – he's the only running back in the top 20 that averages under 4 yards. The only one. So I'm not saying we just got to fix that. This is the point that I'm trying to make, and I hope people don't get upset about this, is we're now at the point where we don't have to worry about the big issues. The big issues seem to be we have the running backs, we have the wide receivers, sort of. The wide receiver position is a weak area, but we have our quarterback. We have a defense that is a playoff caliber defense. So now it's like, hey, wait a second. We got to fix this running back issue. We're only averaging 3.6 yards a gain. What's going on? Hyde, what's going on? Yeah, we're busting it out, but you're getting 3.6 yards a carry. Chubbs is the one leading our team, and yards per carry. And then of course Tyrod was a running machine, and he was leading our team in rushing before he got hurt. So I think that total yardage is kind of bloated on our team. I would rather see them be a 5th rank rushing offense with a 5-yard to 5.2 yards per carry, than a number 1 where we're rushing it so many times. We're just rushing it more than everybody else. And I think we're going to see that go down because since Baker Mayfield came in, we're passing a little bit more, and Baker Mayfield's kind of taken charge of that passing game. I think he's averaging like 300 yards a game. If you take the last 2 games and a half that he played, he averages like 300 yards a game. So I like that aspect. And I know some people are going to say, why are you dogging on our number 1 rushing offense? Because they could be better. we're at that point. They can be better. And that's kind of scary at the same time. That should be scaring the opposing defenses that this team can get better yet, and they're going to get better. Our passing game's getting better every week. Our rushing game should be getting better every week. Our offensive line should be starting to gel a little bit. And the defense is just starting to get their identity. They're just starting to mold a little bit, and that's scary to me. That's really, really, really scary to me. In a good way. I mean, how many times, as you as a Browns fan, when the offense went out, we were just hoping to get a first down. Now we're hoping to get a touchdown or a field goal. It's like we should be scoring. How many times when the Browns defense got on there, we were just hoping to hold to the field goal? No, they're talented enough to hold anyone in this league to 3 and outs. They're that talented. And when was the last time? I think we're so caught up in this that we got what we're getting and we're happy with it. And I don't think our players are. I don't think they're happy with where they're at yet. I think they know they can grow yet. And I think Hyde knows he can run a little bit better yet. I think the offensive line knows they can block a little bit better. I mean, Mayfield had 5 sacks against them last week. They were coverage sacks, not offensive line sacks. So I think we need to run a little bit better routes, and that's why I say that our wide receivers are a little bit weak on the weaker side. And Landry's our only star right now. I'm really disappointed in Callaway. I don't like them drops. If he wasn't dropping the ball, he would be amazing. Ready for this? If Callaway wasn't dropping the ball, he would be a leading receiver right now. But he's dropping the ball. He just can't hang on to the ball, and I hope he can get over this. I just hope he does, because I love it. I love that we have his speed, but if he can't catch the ball, it doesn't matter. So to go off to what we were talking about earlier about Baker Mayfield and the 5-0 and where I think this team's going to go, because we kind of went over the game, and you guys know I think they're going to win 21-17. That's my call. I think that Baker Mayfield's going to have 2 touchdowns, and I believe that Hyde's going to have his touchdown today. And then he's going to be averaging 1 touchdown in every game. He didn't get any last week, but he'll be at 6. I think Baker Mayfield's going to have his best game also. I think this is going to be his come out of dominance. I think that his skill set matches up well against the defense of LA. I keep wanting to say San Diego, but LA. I think that Baker Mayfield has a challenge ahead of him, but I'm thinking that he's going to come out. He's going to start showing what he can do. Like I said, every week he's growing. We're seeing he's making better decisions. The interceptions are not on him, except for the one that was a deep pass, which was called by the coaching anyway, but still he shouldn't have thrown it. The other 2 are tipped balls. So, a miscommunication and a tipped ball. So I'm thinking that Baker Mayfield's this is going to be the come out game. And that's also scary, thinking about a 300-yard passer that could get better. I think he's the most accurate quarterback that we've had since we've come back in 1999. I think he's more accurate than Tim Couch. I think he's more accurate than any quarterback that we've ever drafted, any quarterback that we ever signed. I think he's the most intelligent one. And I'm not saying that the other ones are dumb, but I think he understands the game of football better than any quarterback that we've had. I'm already seeing a rookie read defenses and know where the blitz is going to come at. And I think he's looking at things a little bit stronger, and he knows where it's going to open up. I've never seen a quarterback do this on the Cleveland Browns. He looks at a play and it looks covered when he throws the ball. And when the ball gets there, he's open. He's throwing the ball in anticipation of that wide receiver being open. And I think that's why we're seeing the drops also. I said it last week on the live cast. I said that Baker Mayfield is that quarterback that when the wide receiver turns around, the ball's there. It's there already. They got it. They better catch it. With past quarterbacks, they would turn around looking for the ball, waiting for the ball to be there. Baker Mayfield thinks before the wide receiver even does. His game's based on communication. Baker Mayfield's the best at it. I think once this team gets that down and these wide receivers get this down, it's going to be an insane game, and we're going to see Baker Mayfield just explode. And I think that's going to help out with the offensive line. If he starts moving the ball and they start catching the ball, the offensive line is going to play better. It just kind of trickles down. And I think this is a Baker Mayfield day, guy. I called it last week, and I said that it was going to be the defensive gel time. The defense is going to play better than they did last week. I do see them allowing a touchdown. It is Phillip Rivers. He's going to get his touchdowns. I do think we're going to struggle with Gordon a little bit. Like I said, I think that Garrett rushing is going to bring Gordon back. They're going to have to leave that extra guy back there to chip Garrett to try to slow him down, to give Phillip Rivers that extra second. I think Garrett lines up great against this team. This offensive line does not stand a chance against this defensive line. I don't think they do. I just think we should dominate this game at the line. On this defensive side, should I say. Offensively, I'm hoping that we block better. I think that we're going to see it better. I see improvement every week, and that's something that a lot of people haven't seen or mentioned. Every week I see this team getting better. And I think the special teams is not getting the right credit either, because even myself, we dogged on the special teams, but the defensive side of the special teams have been doing a great job. The punting team, awesome job. The punting team has been doing great. I actually like what I see of the punting team. Our punter is an amazing punter. He puts the ball where it needs to be. And I think that our field goal blocking team is doing an excellent job. I think they're doing a terrific job, and I don't think we should change anything there. I actually think Joseph is a decent kicker. I think he's still learning the NFL game, and I think that he did get that one blocked, and it still went through. We did miss the extra point. Guess what? It happens. He rebounded from it, and he missed that 55-yarder or whatever it was. He doesn't have the leg for that, guys. I mean, he might have the leg for it, but he doesn't have the accuracy for that. So I don't think that we're going to be making a change with Joseph this year. I don't see it, but I think that's going to be one of the priorities next season is a kicker. And this, people can understand, if we had a kicker that actually could kick in the first two games, this team could be 4-1 today. In my opinion, the Raiders game did have some bad calls. It did, but guess what? We lost it. We lost that game. The defense had plenty of time, chances to win. So did the offense. No matter what calls were made, we had plenty of chances. So I'm going to say that we blew that game. But with a kicker, we would be 4-1 today and be one of the ones being talked about. Now, I think that the game against Cincinnati is going to be a big game, and the next game against Pittsburgh, I think that's week 8, is going to be even a bigger game, because I don't think Cincinnati is going to be able to hold that up there, should I say, that the wins they're doing. I don't think they're going to hold on to it. I think Pittsburgh's going to start coming into their own, and if Bell comes back and starts playing, of course, that's going to up their offense. It just is. Let's not hate on the Steelers just because we're Browns fans. But I think we can take control of the division with the win against Cincinnati and a win against Pittsburgh. We're undefeated in our division, and we're undefeated at home. We have not lost at home. We have not lost in the division. The only other team that has not lost in the division is Cincinnati. If we take care of from now on, from this day forward, guys, and this is a prediction, this is telling you what it is. If we take care of the ball at home and we take care of our division from now on, we win the division. Bottom line, it's math. It's the way math is. If we beat Cincinnati the next 2 times, we beat Baltimore, and we beat Pittsburgh, we'll be 5-0-1 in the division. So that's 6 wins already there. Now, if we win the rest of the games at home, that puts us around, I figured out 9 wins, right? Now, if someone correct me if I'm wrong, you can go ahead and comment on the YouTube video or comment on this podcast when I upload it. I think it's 9 wins if we win those, because we got the Cincinnati game at home. No, yeah, it's Cincinnati game at home. And then we got, so it'd be 9 wins, right? Yeah. 10 wins. I'm sorry. I had to think there. I didn't write it down. I'm trying to go off memory. But anyways, we take care of our division. We take care of home. That's how you win your division anyway. You don't lose at home. You don't lose in division. You win your division. It's just the way it goes. So, guys, I think that this team is a playoff-bound team. I don't know if we're a division winner. I don't know if we're going to go deep in the playoffs, but you never do know. They might go to the playoffs and they might be clicking at that time. That's all it takes in football is to start clicking at the right time. And right now, this team is trying to find themselves still. They're 2-2-1, and they're dangerous. No one wants to face Cleveland right now. Their running game is still a running game, and they're feared for it, but their average is a little low. We need to bust that out. And I think the move with Chubb and Hyde switching spots 1-2, and then splitting carries between the two, and moving Johnson to receiver and make him our slot receiver. That would make us very dangerous at all times. I think Johnson's ready for the move. I think that he wants to be that player. He's all about Cleveland. He's a player that we want to see succeed, and everyone loves him. When he has the ball in his hands in open space, he is dangerous. What does a slot receiver do? So I think that's some keys to this next game, and some moves that we need to make. But of course, I'm not Hugh Jackson. I'm not Todd Haley. So we're going to have to just see what happens. I think we're going to win this game. I don't think it's going to be in dominant fashion. I think it's going to be one of them games. It's just going to be a good win by Cleveland. It's going to be something that we can build on. And I honestly think the most important games coming up is the Cincinnati game and the Pittsburgh game. We need to win those two. If we win those two, we make a statement. If we win those two, people will know that Cleveland's back. Guys, I love how we're back. Our defense is hungry. Our defense is nasty. Myles Garrett, Ward. I just love everything about this defense. I cannot find anything. Even Peppers. I want to see people on Twitter. I want to see people on Facebook give Peppers credit. That man played ball last week. He stepped up. Now, if Peppers can do that again this week, and I said that for the preview last week, if we need a safety to step up other than Randall, we need that strong safety, and this defense would be nasty. I said it. And Peppers stepped up last week, guys. He was all over the field. He was defending passes. He was tackling running backs. He stepped up, and the defense was dominant. With Mitchell on the bench because he's injured, this defense was dominant. I don't care what people says. I don't care if the other offense gets 5 million yards. You keep them out of the end zone, you're winning games. Period with this offense. Our offense is going to score. We went up against an elite defense. We outscored them. Period. That's all that we need to know. I don't care about if we didn't get 2-3 touchdowns. We went up against an elite defense. We beat them. So we're the new elite defense. That defense showed something against the Baltimore Ravens. That defense is something special. I know the yardage is bloated. I don't care. This defense is better than their stats are saying. Anyone says different, they don't watch football. This defense is disruptive. They're taking away the ball. They don't care. They'll let you drive down and they'll rip the ball out of your hands. So that's my opinion on it. The Browns defense is already coming in their own. They're making their identity. I think this offense starts taking the next step now. I think this offense should be around the 10th ranked offense, 10th to 8th ranked offense. That's where I think it sits. That's where I think it sits without the wide receivers. Once they get the wide receivers, I think they're a top 5 offense all day long. That's just the way I feel. If Higgins didn't get hurt, I think I would rank them up around 7 at the end of this because they're just getting better. This defense, I think, is a top 5 defense, period. I know people are going to laugh. They're going to be like the 28th in the league, blah, 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 blah. Guys, they're number 1 in takeaways. Number 1, if our offense played ball better, that's another thing that we need to remember. They have all them takeaways, and we have, 21, 24 points off them takeaways? That's insane. When your offense is getting the ball from the defense and you got a +8 turnover ratio, you should be scoring more than 21 points off them them turnovers, and that we got to get better at. And I guarantee all the stuff I said, them players are going to tell you the same thing. They're going to say, we need to get better here. We need to get better here, because they're wanting to win just as bad as we are wanting them to win, if not more. They don't want to be a joke. They don't want to be the laughing stock of the league, and they're not. They're not even close to being the laughing stock of the league. I'm tired of seeing the tweets that people say we needed to draft Barkley. I like Hyde, and I think Chubb is better than Barkley. Yes, you heard it here first. Barkley has what? 4 rushes for 150 yards, and then he has 63 or 64 yards for the rest, or rushes for the other yards he has. What, 170? I don't want that. I want a balanced attack. I want where I can hand it to the guy and he makes the yards. I want that old-fashioned football where we have a dominant defense and a running game that runs down your throat. We're going to keep the ball out of your hands. You're going to go 3 and out. You're not seeing the ball for 7 minutes. Then you're going to go 3 and out again. You're not seeing the ball for 7 minutes. That's what I want to see. I don't care about scoring 50,000 points. All I want is a Cleveland Browns team in that playoffs where we have a shot. Defense wins playoff games. Defense wins championships. And our defense is one of the better defenses in the league. The takeaways prove it. When you take away the ball that many times, I don't care what team you're good. You're good. Myles Garrett is in the top of the league, in one of the top sackers in the league. I think he should be at 5.5 and not 5, but they gave him a half sack last week. I don't agree with that point. But I think that we are a very dangerous team. I think our secondary all are with 5 games. We have a couple with 2. We have Ward with 3. I think that we are really, really right there from starting to climb the mountain faster. We're climbing the mountain, but we're right there to climb the mountain faster. And like Jim Rome says, we're America's team, and I agree with them. America's all over the Cleveland Browns now, but you fans know, just like me, we've been there since the start. We were there during the 0-16 while everyone was laughing at us. Well, everyone was laughing at our team, and we were sitting there cheering on our team and hoping for the best. When Kaiser was throwing 22 interceptions, we still rooted for the kid. And the year before, when we got that win on Christmas Eve against the Chargers, we're playing the Chargers. But against the Chargers, everyone knew that was the best Christmas present that we had that year. That was the biggest thing to us. Just look at what the Browns fans do when we just win a game, guys. I'm telling you, the best fans in the league is the Cleveland Browns. It's the dog pound. I need that stadium lit. I need it to be loud every time the Chargers touch the ball. I don't want Phillip Rivers being able to even speak and hear himself, let alone his offensive line hearing him. I think that we should be pumping up that defense. That defense is nasty and hungry, and they want that stadium loud. On the flip end, when Baker Mayfield and company's on there, hush. Let them drive down. Cheer when they make the play. Let them make them calls at the line. Guys, I don't think anyone's talking about it. I think that we have one of the smarter QBs in the league. He reads defenses very well. And I just love to think about him making changes at that line. I love him seeing, he's always looking. He doesn't stare down receivers like the Ravens said he does. The man's feet's always moving. He's looking at his checkdowns. He's looking everywhere. He's looking for the best option available. Baker Mayfield is above his years. He's not a rookie. I feel bad for him. If what's he going to do next year? The man is a born leader. He just knows how to lead. He grabbed the reins from this team, and he says, no matter what it takes, we're driving forward, and he's done it. A rookie, guys, had took the reins and said, we're driving forward. Don't listen to him. We're going, and he did it. Baker Mayfield has 2 wins under his belt as a rookie. He has 5 games in the season. He has 3 games under his belt, or 2.5, and he has 2 wins, guys. Baker Mayfield and company are what we've been waiting for. So if you go to the game, I can't. I'm in Green Bay. That's where I'm at. I can't be at the game, guys. I want to be there, but please bark loud. I will be doing a reaction video after the game. So right after the game, I'm going to be going live on the radio and on YouTube, and you guys can come on in and listen to me, and hopefully I can get the live lines working by then. You can call in. I'm going to try to make it toll free, but it really doesn't matter if I make it long distance because everyone gets free long distance anyway. But I want to make it where you guys can call in and give me your opinions. Tell me if I'm off the wall, but the Browns are going to win 21-17 this weekend. We will be going to 3-2-1. It's going to happen, guys. I know it's going to happen. They match up well against San Diego. They just do. So, guys, make sure it's barking loud at the stadium. I want to see everyone in brown and orange, and I want you guys there till the end. No leaving early this week. I'm out.